Y'all boxers are so disrespectful to us athletes, bro. We are way more entertaining than y'all. It just is what it is. When we watch you guys fight, it's predictable on who's gonna win. In the UFC, you don't know who gonna get it. From the wrestlers, from the submissions, from knees, from elbows, from kicks, spinning back kicks. And y'all try to say, no, y'all the real fighters.
Was the fight right now on the streets, I'll break your neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, in the whole world.
So is MMA better than boxing? Short answer is yes. But why though? Well, let's break it down. For the obvious reason that boxing, you're only using your hands. But let's not get into detail about boxing in general, because boxing can have so much minute details about it that makes these guys like the most terrifying punches in the world, okay, especially at the highest level. Let's say, for example, if we were to put like the best MMA fighters to fight against the best boxers in the world in a boxing ring, in boxing rule set, 100%, without doubt, I'd say the boxers win all the time. But if a boxer wants to transition into MMA, what does it take? See, in boxing, it's just hands, right, as I just said. But in MMA, you're looking for a lot of other things. Number one, from range, you're already looking at kicks. You gotta be aware of the kicks coming towards your head, your body, or your legs, or even nowadays, your calves. So there's already that threat. So you gotta practice, as the sport would suggest, it's mixed martial arts. You already gotta practice Muay Thai. You already gotta practice kickboxing. You already gotta practice some form of kickboxing like Sanda or something. But beyond just kicks, there's also takedowns. In MMA, you could lose in every aspect of the fight. So you really have to be careful of everything when it comes to MMA as compared to boxing, which is why I would say MMA is quote unquote the better, I wouldn't say the better sport, but I would say MMA is clearly the harder sport. Let's not forget that also comparing MMA to boxing is that if you go down in boxing, there's already the 8 count, right? You have 8 seconds to recover. If it goes to 9 and 10 seconds, and that's it, the end of the fight. But in MMA, what happens when you go down? Nothing. The fight continues. The guy has to climb on top of you, or maybe if you defend yourself, you maybe get yourself up. The fight continues on, even if you get rocked. In boxing, if you get rocked, even without going down, sometimes the referee would do a standing count. Essentially, in boxing, you have so many avenues to recover, whereas in MMA, it's a little bit less merciful, whereby if you go down, you gotta deal with that. You gotta fight through. You gotta have the resilience, the heart, the courage to fight on the floor, especially since in MMA, it's not even a pure jiu-jitsu matchup whereby, oh, okay, this guy's just gonna grapple me, he's gonna hold me, lock me. No, this guy's gonna rain down punches on me. This guy's gonna rain down elbows. In the good old Pride days, people used a soccer kick, but that's banned in most MMA sport now. But still, the threat of being kicked in the body is still there when you're on the floor. The threat of being knee to the body is still there. So threats are everywhere. But what if we look at the two sports in an entertainment aspect? Which one's more entertaining, if you were to ask? I don't know. It really depends. I feel like in boxing, you really need to know a lot about boxing, but it's very clear cut. One guy punches, another guy punches back. Whoever can punch better wins. But what about in MMA? Is MMA that simple? There are a lot of nuances and complexities with MMA, but I would say MMA, in terms of entertainment, MMA is just pure cinema. Like that thing, just the moment two fighters enter a cage, the cage door closed, you know things about to happen, right? You're gonna expect some crazy wild stuff to happen. People start swinging their hands. I know in MMA it's quite common that not everybody has the best strike. They don't have the crispiest of strikes, but man, some of these guys, when they just start throwing bombs, it doesn't matter how clean the strikes are. Knockout to knockout. If you ask me, my own personal opinion, I'd say MMA is more entertaining than boxing. But depends, man. Depends. Sometimes boxing can be just as entertaining or maybe even more entertaining than MMA, depending on the fight, I guess. But that already goes down to the breakdown of the individuals that is fighting in the ring as per on average of what you would expect in a boxing ring or in an MMA cage. Let's talk about barriers to entry, okay? So as I said, MMA is clearly the hardest sport to train for. But if you were to want to get into MMA, how would you start? Definitely need to start with some form of combat sports. Like you could literally just start with just a regular boxing class or a regular Muay Thai class, but you gotta pair yourself up with a good grappling class as well. That depends what kind of grappling you're going for. You'll go for judo, go ahead. Most people just go for jiu-jitsu. Wrestling's picking up, especially in this country of Malaysia. Wrestling is picking up a lot. So depends how you want to grapple. That all comes down to your characteristic of a fighter. But you gotta bear in mind, as an MMA fighter, you are not a specialist, okay? Like boxers, they are specialists. They specialize in their hands. You're a Muay Thai fighter. Even Muay Thai, they can break down into different kind of specialities. Like you could be an aggressive fighter. You could be, in Malaysia, most of us are Muay Femur. They like to play off the elbows, play off the legs. But in MMA, kind of have to be a jack of all trades. Being a specialist is just not the meta anymore. At the moment, if you're really good at one thing, you're probably not good at a lot of other things. So it's in MMA, if you want to be good, you got to be good at everything that you do. Take Max Holloway, for example. Max Holloway, we know him as a really entertaining fighter, clearly a specialist in striking. Dude can kickbox for days, but if somebody shoots for a takedown, Max Holloway usually could defend, or even if he gets taken down, you probably could get out of that position. The chances of Max Holloway getting submitted these days, way lower compared to most average MMA fighters out there. You gotta train well for everything. Another example would be Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, another super entertaining fighter, BMF title holder as well. But Justin Gaethje's got really good wrestling background. In his last fight against Paddy Pimblett, dude took down Paddy. He didn't negate his wrestling this time. So Justin Gaethje is a very good example of an MMA fighter if any of you want to follow his footsteps. But the truth is, guys, both sports are tough, okay? So one's tougher than the other, right? Nah, I'm kidding. But what I'm trying to say is that whether you enter a boxing ring or an MMA cage, both has its own sets of difficulties. So if you're training for any of these, I hope you guys train hard and fight hard as well, and that you guys listen to your coaches at all times. But if I were to ask you guys, which sport is the tougher sport? Muay Thai or boxing? Now that's another debate for another day. But of course, if you guys are debating online, keep it civil, keep it respectful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.